Hey, it's Mr. Estrada here, and our learning target is I can add and subtract fractions. So here's a warm-up. It says, what is 1/2 plus 1/2? Now, here, half a circle is shaded in. So that's 1 out of 2. We could write 1/2 as 1 out of 2. And then here, half a circle is also shaded in. Now look, you know that 1/2 plus 1/2 is equal to 1 whole. You know that, right? You know that 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1 whole. But so many students like to say that 1/2 plus 1/2 is equal to 2 over 4. That's wrong. What are they doing? They're adding 1 plus 1 and they're getting 2, and they're adding 2 plus 2 and they're getting 4. That's wrong. You're not supposed to add fractions like that. Plus, you know that a half plus a half is equal to a whole. You know that. You can see it in the pictures here. So, what are they doing wrong? Well, when you add fractions, you're not supposed to add the denominator. When you add fractions, you only add the numerator. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. And you leave the denominator, that's the bottom part of the fraction, the same. So you get 2 over 2, which is equal to 1. All right? So, when adding fractions, only add the numerators, the top part, and just leave the denominators the same. All right, now, what happens when the denominators are not the same? Right? What happens when the denominators are different? Well, here's what you need to know. I mean, you need to know this fact. You can only add fractions that have the same denominator. So we have to get the same denominator. We have to. So how do we get the same denominator? Right? That's the question we're going to ask ourselves right now. How do we make both of these fractions have the same denominator? Essentially, we have to multiply each denominator to get the lowest common multiple of the denominators. So why don't we go ahead and list the multiples of 10 and 6. So what are the multiples of 10? What are all the numbers that 10 could go into? Well, 10 could go into 10. It can go into 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and so on and so forth. What are the multiples of 6? Well, you got 6, 12, you got 18, you've got 24, and you've got 30, and you've got 36, and you could keep going. But what's the lowest common multiple? In other words, what is the multiple that 10 and 6 have in common? That would be 30. They have 30 in common, and that's the lowest number they have in common. So what I have to do then is I have to multiply each denominator by a number that will give me 30. So that means I'm going to multiply this 10 by 3, and I'm going to do the same on the top. So whatever you multiply the bottom by, you have to do on the top. And I'm going to multiply the 6 by 5, and I'm going to do the same on the top. Multiplying by these numbers will give me a common denominator. So now I'm just going to multiply across for each fraction. So let's go ahead and do the multiplication. So we got 1 times 3, that's 3. We got 3 times 10, that's 30, plus 7 times 5 is 35, 6 times 5 is 30. And look at that. I have a common denominator. So now I can combine the numerators. Remember, do not add the denominators. Leave the denominator the same. So I'm going to combine the numerators. 3 plus 35 is equal to 38. So I get 38 over 30. And now I have to reduce the fraction. And I showed you how to do it on the calculator. Let me show you how to do that again. Okay, so there's my calculator. So you're going to type in 38. 38 divided by 30. Press math. Enter and enter. And you get 19/15. So we get 19/15. That's our final answer. All right, so to summarize, you need, you can only add fractions that have the same denominator, right? So originally, we did not have the same denominator. So we have to find the common multiples. And the common multiple of 10 and 6 is 30. That's the lowest common multiple. So you ask yourself, well, what do I need to multiply 10 by to get 30? Well, 10 times 3, right? That's why we multiplied by 3. And we do the same on the top. What do I need to multiply 6 by to get 30? Multiply by 5. So you do the same on the top. You multiply across for each fraction. Then you combine the numerators. Don't add the denominators. Just combine the numerators. And then you reduce and you're done. And just so you know, you can check this on the calculator, but I'll show you how to do that in class, actually. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, it says, perform the operation and reduce the answer fully. Okay, so we need a common denominator. So I'm going to list the multiples of 12. So the multiples of 12 are 12, 24, 36, you got 48 and 60, and then 72. So those are the multiples of 12, and it goes on and on. Now we're going to write the multiples of 15. So you got 15, you've got 30, you've got 45, and then you've got 60. And so I could see right there and then that the lowest common multiple is 60. So I need to get a common denominator of 60. So I know that I want both of these fractions to have a denominator of 60. So what do I have to multiply 12 by to get 60? So I have to multiply 12 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 12 times 5 will give me 60. So I multiply the top and the bottom by 5. What do I have to multiply 15 by to get 60? I have to multiply by 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to multiply this by 4 and this by 4. So now I just do the multiplication, right? 5 times 12 is 60. 5 times 7 is 35. 15 times 4 is 60. 2 times 4 is 8. Now I could do the subtraction because I have a common denominator. So 35 subtract 8 gives me 27. So I get 27 over 60. Now I got to check if I could reduce it. So I type in 27 over 60. Press math. Fraction. I get 9/20. So 9/20 is my final answer. Okay, I hope this video helps you with adding and subtracting fractions. Take care.